and Empire Screen Printing Incorporated.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Game 11 of High Quiz Bowl. My name is Terry Wirkus. I'll be your moderator, and I'll be the one here to kind of keep these two teams going at it. It's going to be a really, really good game. I have a feeling we may have a record breaker tonight in terms of a score. The atmosphere is electric. It really is. We've got Rochester Lourdes visiting us and Crosse Logan looking for win number 2. Let's meet our teams. First, our squad from Crosse Logan.
Kirk Olson, Jr.
Kathy Mowbray, Senior.
Steve Duffrin, Jr.
Ben Leach, Jr.
Alternate Cynthia Bernstein and Coach Diane Gebhardt. And now, here is our squad visiting us from Rochester Lourdes.
Patrick Dosha, Jr.
Thomas Dosha, Senior.
Karen Hoberger, Jr.
David Driscoll, Jr.
Alternate Pat Stewart and Coach Jim Manhart. And not with us this afternoon, Barb Olson. And here he is from Viterbo College. He's always with us. He's the kingpin of this game. Wayne Wojciechowski, our judge education consultant. We couldn't do it without you.
Good evening. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm doing a lot better than last week. I had too much turkey on Thursday, and by the time Sunday rolled around, I was still full. But now I'm ready for another meal.
Good.
High Quiz Bowl coming up right after this break.
When you buy Country Hearth Bread, you're buying natural goodness. When you buy Country Hearth Bread, you're buying quality ingredients because Country Hearth Bread has no artificial preservatives. When you buy Country Hearth Bread, you're buying nutrition to grow on. Your whole family will love the soft-textured quality of Country Hearth Bread.
Nature's gift of goodness, Country Hearth Bread.
You know, Will Rogers liked to say that even when you're on the right track, you'll be run over if you just sit there. Well, at Viterbo College, we're on the right track, and we're moving in the right direction. We're in the midst of a multi-million-dollar program to build a new library and a recreation center and a student union, and to keep our endowment growing for an affordable education. And I'm happy to report that we're right on schedule. At Viterbo College, the future is now.
Good work, Starship. Why don't you guys take a break?
How about a Pepsi? There's only one left.
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Our question authority is College Bowl Incorporated, and the decision of Judge Wayne Wojciechowski will be final. Let's begin this afternoon's game with our first 10-point toss-up. You own a 10,000-acre rutabaga farm through which the federal government wants to build Interstate 119. You refuse to sell it, and the government condemns your farm in the public's interest. Teams, for 10 points, what two-word term designates Driscoll, Lourdes?
Eminent domain.
Correct for 10 points, and we'll go to the bonus categories. We have 5 of them. We have authors, famous people, medicine, music, miscellaneous, composed of 5 questions each. And Mr. Dosha, choose one for us, please.
Music, please.
First into the music for 20 points. In 1986, Phil Collins' album was voted Best Album of the Year. Its title sounds like the dress code for a casual restaurant meal. For 20 points, what is it?
No jacket required.
Correct for 20 points. He was preached, or rather he has preached, teams from the pulpit of the Marble Collegiate Church in New York since 1932. 10 points. Who was the author of The Power of Positive Thinking? Dosha, Lourdes.
Norman Vincent Peale.
Correct for 10 points, and back to the bonus categories.
We'll take music again, please.
Back to music for 20 points. One of the Living was recorded by a female vocalist from the 1960s who gained popularity with her then-husband, Ike. Her 1980s comeback is a sensation in the music business. For 20 points, what's her name?
Tina Turner.
Correct for 20 points. Teams, each of them is defined as 1.8288 meters. For 10 points, name this unit of length associated with depth and equal Mr. Duffer and Logan.
A fathom.
That is right. 10 points, and we'll give Logan that choice of bonus category.
Music, please.
Back into the music category, a popular one here this evening. In 1986, We Are the World won 4 Grammy Awards. For 10 points apiece, who were its 2 superstar composers?
Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder. One more. Tina Turner. Tina Turner.
10 points for Michael Jackson. Lionel Richie was the other gentleman we were looking for. Teams, this nation has no taxes. Everything is state-owned. There are no labor unions. Males outnumber females by better than 2 to 1. 1/5 of its 392 citizens are diplomats, though none of them were born there. And it has 339, Dufferin, Logan.
Luxembourg.
Lourdes, it has 339 non-citizen residents. For 10 points, what country is this? Driscoll.
Vatican City.
Correct for 10 points, and back to the bonus categories.
Music, please.
Back to music. 20-point potential. President Wilson called it a genuine inspiration to all American manhood, and it gained a Congressional Medal of Honor for its composer. For 10 points each, name the composer and his popular 1917 morale booster.
You've Got to Pack Your Troubles in an Old Kit Bag by Felix Turner.
George M. Cohan, over there. She is a Nigerian-born British pop star, teens. His first album, Dosha Lourdes.
Sade.
Correct.
Okay. Music again, please.
It's the last time in the category. Britain had its Band Aid with Do They Know It's Christmas? And the U.S. had USA for Africa with We Are the World. For 10 points each, name the equivalent Canadian group.
The Northern Lights.
It's sung by Bryan Adams. That would be Tears Are Not Enough. You want to sing We Are the World for some bonus points for us? No. Just kidding. Just kidding. Here's another 10-point toss-up. In 1912, teams, he became the first American to enter the Olympic pentathlon. And the U.S. Mowbray, Logan.
Patton.
Correct for 10 points. Back to the bonus for Logan.
Authors, please.
First time in the category. 20-point potential question. In King Lear, Shakespeare wrote the line, "Child Roland to the Dark Tower came." 2 later poets used that same line in their works. For 10 points each, Logan, name the 18th and early 19th century Scottish-born poet of the Bridal of Trierman.
Burns.
Scott, Sir Walter Scott. What 19th century English poet who took up residence in Italy for a time used the line as the title of his 1845 poem?
Wordsworth.
Robert Browning. In England, it's called treacle. But here, we have another name for the liquid residue left after heat crystallization of sucrose. For 10 points, what is this proverbially slow substance? Dufferin, Logan.
Molasses.
That is right for 10 points and a bonus.
Authors, please.
Back to authors for 20 points. This longtime Chicago journalist reacted with characteristic irreverence when he was told that he had just won the 1985 Pulitzer Prize. Quote, "I guess this proves that if you stick around long enough, anything can happen." Now for 10 points each, name this author of the oral history, The Good War.
Mishner.
That was Studs Terkel. Which war did Terkel call the Good War?
World War II.
Correct for 10 points. The one in Paris was designed as a church, but later became a public building. The one in Rome was designed as a temple, then became a church, and is today one of Rome's most visited public buildings. For 10 points, teams, what name is shared by these 2 domed structures? Leach, Logan.
Cathedral?
No, Lourdes.
The
Ocean.
Pantheon.
That is correct for 10 points. Back to the bonuses for you.
Famous people, please.
25-point potential. Home box office's signal was pierced in early 1986, interrupting the cable channel's transmission, by an engineer named John R. McDougall. For 25 points, what is his more well-known code name?
Captain Midnight.
That is right. Here's a 10-point toss-up. It cost nearly $2 billion, but never did shoot straight, making it the costliest weapons project ever abandoned by the Defense Department. For 10 points, Leach, Logan.
MX system.
Lord, for 10 points, what name was given to this anti-helicopter weapon? Driscoll.
Sergeant York.
Correct.
Famous people again, please.
Her real name was Elizabeth Cochran, and she's remembered as a New York World reporter who completed a trip around the world in 1889 in 72 days. 20 points, what was her pen name? Nellie Bly. Teams, he did not have a ghostwriter to help him write The Ghost Writer, nor did he hire a gang of helpers to prepare his Our Game. For 10 points, who is this author of Goodbye Columbus and Portnoy's Complaint? Doja, Lourdes.
Philip Roth.
Correct.
Authors, please.
20-point potential. Out of My League was the first of a series of sport books which included Paper Line that he wrote as a participatory journalist. For 20 points, who is this author?
George Plimpton.
For 20 points. Teams, the synthetic hydrochloride is chemically similar to morphine and duplicates morphine's pain-killing effects, but without its strong addictive properties. For 10 points, name this artificial drug used as a replacement for heroin in the treatment of that addiction. Methadone. Methadone is the answer to that. A good first half of High Quiz Bowl. We'll be back with the second half, and we'll meet our teams right after this break.
I enjoy my patients immensely. I think that's the best thing about being a nurse, is that you're in touch with so many people so much of the time. I think it was the profession I was meant to be in. It gives a person a great sense of satisfaction to hear someone say thank you and to smile and wave when they go out that door. Viterbo gave me all I needed to be the nurse I am today. Thanks, Viterbo.
Roman meal bread salutes everyone who gives their best in the biggest race of all, the human race.
Wings on your feet, your smile comes shining through. You're on top of the world, and enjoy your love view. You're happy to fit, and go for more. Roman meal, when you know what's good for you.
The human race. Get into it.
Somebody have any change?
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Wayne, I want to ask you to bare your soul here for a moment.
Okay.
If I didn't have the answers to the questions in front of me when we played High Quiz Bowl, I don't think I'd know many of these questions. How do you feel about that?
The same.
There are toughies, aren't they?
Right.
We've got a good game here this evening. Where do we stand score-wise?
Well, Rochester Lourdes with 165 and Crosse Logan with 40, but there's still another half left.
You used to say something that I always got a kick out of.
It's anybody's ball game.
Anybody's
is that
ball
it?
game.
Okay.
That's right. And that's
you get 10-point bonus on that.
Okay, good. Thanks, Wayne. We'll
You're
talk
welcome.
with you later on. We'll come over here now and meet our squad from La Crosse Logan, looking for their second win this evening. Ms. Mowbray, tell us a bit about your school, please.
Logan High School houses 1,060 students as well as 75 faculty members. Curriculum offerings include courses in accelerated chemistry and physics for the college-bound, in addition to a comprehensive vocational course. Our extracurricular program balances athletics with aesthetics. Our girls and boys athletic teams are known for their competitive attitude. Our marching band has won numerous honors, including champion of this year's Oktoberfest parade. The highlight of our vocal music program is our show choir, the class act, well known not only in the community but statewide. Other activities include the all-school musical, drama, forensics, debate, and academic decathlon. A fine facility, a great faculty, and an enthusiastic student body make Logan a great place to be.
Not to mention a good High Quiz Bowl team, right? Best of luck in the second half, and I appreciate your coming by.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Let's step over here now and let's talk with our squad from Rochester. And Mr. Stewart, you're going to do the little spiel for us here today. We'd like to learn a little bit about your school.
The alternate takes over. Situated in the fertile Hiawatha Valley, Rochester, Minnesota is a cosmopolitan city preparing for the 21st century. An integral part in the development of the city is Rochester Lourdes. An avant-garde institution, Lourdes combines the diversity of academics, arts, and athletics into a well-rounded educational experience. In the ancient Greek tradition of balance and arete, the Lourdes philosophy is to encourage the student to excel in more than one discipline. As a result, Lourdes has been recognized in all three aspects. In band competition, has received superior ratings. The school has amassed numerous state championship titles in tennis and cross country. and will remain a force to be reckoned with for years to come. In the area of scholastics, 94% of Lourdes graduates further pursue their education at the collegiate level. Truly, Lourdes is a complement to excellent education in Rochester, Minnesota.
Glad you can make the trip to La Crosse here this afternoon.
Oh, we're real happy to be here.
Okay, good. Thanks a lot, Mr. Stewart. We'll be back with the second half of our game right after this break.
Good morning, good neighbor. For freshness and flavor, you have a good neighbor.
When it comes to freshness and flavor, choose your Good Neighbor Bakers, the Good Night Bakers of Wholesome.
Wholesome's flavor secret is quality in everything. The yeast, flour, everything. No Wholesome family's more than a few hours from our ovens. We deliver freshness. Wholesome's wrapped, oven fresh, just before dawn. Good morning. I know it's good because I eat it. And I know why it's good, because we bake it.
Isn't it more than size? You bet it is. But if size concerns you, Viterbo College is smaller than most colleges, about 1,100 students. Why not enroll where your needs and interests come first, where you can be in the mainstream of activity? At Viterbo College, you can have closer friends. Some of them might even be faculty members. Viterbo College, try us on for size and variety and friendliness.
It's a good game, Game 11 of High Quiz Bowl. Rochester, Lourdes, La Crosse, Logan. Let's begin our second half with our first 10-point toss-up. During the 1920s teams, he was the most popular dog in motion pictures. For 10 points, Duffer and Logan.
Petey.
For 10 points, Lourdes, what dog? Holberger.
Rin Tin Tin.
Correct, for 10 and a bonus. We've got 4 categories left. For the second half, we have authors, famous people, medicine, and miscellaneous. Music is all used up.
Okay. Authors, please.
I'm sorry, sir.
Authors, please.
It's a 25-point potential question. He followed up an extraordinarily successful 1939 novel with the sequels Up into the Singing Mountain and I Shall Sleep, Down Where the Moon is Small. But none of his later works ever matched the success of How Green Was My Valley. For 25 points, name this Welsh writer.
Dylan Thomas.
Richard Llewellyn. Teams, he took on the Medici family and won, driving them out of Florence in 1494. But then Pope Alexander VI excommunicated him and finally had him burned as a heretic. 10 points. Who was this fiery Dominican preacher? Dosha, Lourdes.
Savonarola.
That is right, for 10 points.
Famous people, please.
20-point question. He had the good fortune to team up with John C. Fremont on 3 Far West expeditions in the 1840s, as Fremont's subsequent writings made this mountain man a national folk hero and a namesake of a western state capital. For 20 points, name him.
Carson, Kit Carson.
That is right, for 20 points. Teams, he was 1985's NHL All-Star team goalie and on the rise with the Philadelphia Flyers until he was killed in an automobile accident. Dosha, Lourdes.
Pelle Lindbergh.
That is right, for 10 and back to the bonus categories.
Famous people, please.
30-point potential. His latest takeover bid may be for the governorship of Texas. For 30 points, who is this master of the hostile takeover and chairman of Mesa Petroleum?
T-Boone Pickens.
That's right, for 30 points. Teams, everyone knows what the Renaissance was, but what did it mean? Driscoll, Lourdes.
Rebirth.
That's right.
Famous people, please.
Last time in the category for 20 points. 3 great 13th century thinkers who knew and worked with each other have been accorded remarkably similar nicknames. Roger Bacon was the Admirable Doctor. For 20 points, who was known as the Universal Doctor?
Albertus Magnus.
That's right, for 20 points. Teams, she was heavy-set, ruddy, outspoken, and wore a hat as large as a shield. After 5 marriages, she was looking for a 6th husband. For 10 points, who was this character created by Geoffrey Chaucer? Mowbray, Logan.
The Lady of Bath.
We can't accept that. Lourdes. The wife of Bath. On September 9th, 1920, he wrote to his friend and colleague Max Born, "Like the man in the fairy tale who turns everything he touched into gold, so with me everything turns into a fuss in the newspapers." For 10 points, who was this media celebrity who only wanted to be a quiet, if revolutionary, physicist? Dosha, Lourdes.
John Reed.
No. Logan. Dufferin.
Einstein.
Correct for 10 points, and for the bonus categories for Logan.
Miscellaneous, please.
It's a 20-point question. Of the developed nations, only 2 currently imprison a higher percentage of their citizens than does the U.S. For 10 points each, which nations are these? Each of which frequently makes the news for abusing human rights.
South Africa and Chile.
South Africa is correct. We give you 10 points for that. The Soviet Union is the other one that we were looking for. Okay, teams, here's another 10-point toss-up. Boston erected a statue of him on Commonwealth Avenue. Dufferin, Logan.
Paul Revere.
No. Lourdes. They erected a statue of him on Commonwealth Avenue in recognition of his discovery of New England. Scholars, however, remain divided as to the location of his discovery, suggesting Labrador or Newfoundland as the site of his Vinland. For 10 points, who was this explorer? Motion.
Leif Erikson.
Correct for 10 points.
Authors, please.
Last time in the author category, 30 points. Alan Seeger wrote, I have a rendezvous with death. And William Cooper wrote, I am a monarch of all I survey. For 15 points each, who made these opening line poetic statements? I died for beauty. Emily Dickinson. I met a traveler from an antique land. That was Shelley. Here's another toss-up. A Christian feast day first celebrated in 1246 in honor of the mystery of the Eucharist has given its name to colleges at both Cambridge and Oxford universities and to Bristol, Lourdes.
Corpus Christi.
Correct for 10 and a bonus.
Miscellaneous, please.
It's a 30-point potential. Assume for a moment that you're so filthy rich that you burn diamonds for fuel. For 15 points each, what gas would a burning diamond form? Carbon dioxide. At temperatures above 1800 degrees Celsius, diamonds don't so much burn as they convert into another mineral with the same chemical formula. What mineral?
Graphite.
Graphite is correct for 15 points. Teams, most bonds provide a secure income. For 10 points, what is secured in a running bond? English cross bond, Flemish bond, and herringbone bond. Mowbray, Logan.
Wool.
No. Lourdes. Ocean.
Rope.
No. Bricks. Bricks. He was born on August 26, 1819 near Coburg, Germany, and died on December 14, 1861 in Windsor Castle. Mourned by his adopted nation,
George
Dufferin, Logan.
George III.
Lourdes, he was mourned by his adopted nation and by his wife and the remaining Dosha.
Prince Albert.
Correct for 10 and a bonus.
Miscellaneous, please.
Back to miscellaneous, it's 20 points. 3 traditional canvas sizes used by painters are whole length, head, and historical. For 10 points each, which is far and away the largest at 14 by 10 feet?
Historical.
And which is the smallest at 24 by 20 inches?
Half head.
That was the head. It is the husks of ground wheat, rye, and corn separated from the flour. For 10 points, team, what is this essential fibrous dietary ingredient found?
Bran.
Lourdes.
Bran.
Bran is right.
Miscellaneous, please.
30-point potential. China, France, and the United Kingdom have veto power in the United Nations Security Council, but 2 nations without this power contribute more each year to the UN's budget. For 15 points each, what nations are these?
West Germany and Japan.
That is right for 30 points. Teams, playwrights often put down drama critics with the remark, those that can do, those that can't,
Teach.
Dufferin, Logan.
Teach.
Those that can't criticize, Lourdes. Now, one drama critic, oops, that's the end of that question, and that's the end of our 11th game of High Quiz Bowl. We'll be back to award the scholarships right after this break.
Discover the wonder. Imagine the possibilities. The arts, the turbo, and you.
When you buy Country Hearth Bread, you're buying natural goodness. When you buy Country Hearth Bread, you're buying quality ingredients because Country Hearth Bread has no artificial preservatives. When you buy Country Hearth Bread, you're buying nutrition to grow on. Your whole family will love the soft-textured quality of Country Hearth Bread.
Nature's gift of goodness. Country Hearth Bread.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring except Five-O the mouse.
Presenting Five-O, the adorable star of Steven Spielberg's presentation of the Don Bluth film An American Tale. Now collect all 4 different McDonald's stocking ornaments featuring Five-O. Each one comes free when you buy the perfect stocking stuffer. A $5 book of McDonald's gift certificates.
This holiday season, give a terrific surprise. Free Five-O stockings with our gift certificates inside.
What's our final score, Wayne?
Well, our final score gives Rochester Lourdes 370 points and La Crosse Logan 40 points.
Let's award our scholarships first to La Crosse Logan and Miss Mowbray.
Kathy, $300 scholarship to someone at Logan High School for the fall semester at Viterbo.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And now from Rochester Lourdes, here's Mr. Dosha.
Tom, $500 for someone at Lourdes High School for the fall 87 semester at Viterbo.
Thank you very much, sir.
Congratulations. Viterbo College is known for academic excellence, and this evening I'd like to toot the horn of the music department. Earlier this month in Appleton, Wisconsin, hosted the National Association of Teachers of Singing statewide competition. There were 175 participants in that competition, and there were 30 finalists. 1/3 of those finalists were from Viterbo College. And among these 10 finalists from Viterbo, they placed first, second, and third among the men and women competitors, and they were represented in every class level from freshman through graduate level. We're proud of these 10 Viterbo students. We're also very proud of Dan Johnson-Wilmot, their teacher, music teacher at Viterbo. And so Viterbo and music, an excellent combination.
Toot the horn of the music department.
Little pun.
The Prince of Pun, the Wizard of Wit.
Any more alliteration?
I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it. Well, Wayne, once again, another good game, High Quiz Bowl.
Excellent.
Next week, we'll have Rochester Lourdes coming back to join us again, and Bangor will be with us.
Okay.
Now, next week, it will be Saturday at 12 noon. Now, High Quiz Bowl has been kind of jumping all around here. It's kind of hard to follow us, but I'm sure because you enjoy this show so much, you're with us. But next week, it's 12 noon. It's Saturday afternoon, and what better way? Have your lunch and then sit down and enjoy a little High Quiz Bowl. Okay. So, you'll be back with us, I hope?
I will be here.
All right.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting,
Yeah.
that's right.
It's December, you know.
Yes, indeed. Christmas coming up. It's not we'll have to get out the Christmas tree again for our Christmas
That's
show,
true,
won't
sure.
we? We'll see you again on High Quiz Bowl next week. Take care.
High Quiz Bowl has been brought to you by Viterbo College with grant support from the Ashley Furniture Company, Hampton Inn of La Crosse, Country Kitchens of Wisconsin, and Empire Screen Printing Incorporated. Wholesome bread baked by Erickson Bakeries, the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of La Crosse, and by McDonald's of La Crosse, Prairie du Chien, and Tomah.
WKBT La Crosse.